We are back. Welcome back to the Nick Hall Comedy Podcast. I'm Nick Hall, joined as always by
Josh Griffey.
Hey, we got a big week. I gotta get, I'm too fat to get comfy right now. It's so comfy, man. Hey, if you're fat like me and you're sitting around listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watching it on YouTube, go ahead and jam those like buttons and give us reviews and comments and ratings, and that's all we ask. So just do it.
Do it.
Or whatever you guys want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'd hate to invade your bubble.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of, though, dude, I feel you on the too fat to live life.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
Well, I've been doing we're coming out of quarantine. Baseball season's back, so we're ramping up production. And you're like, all right, I got to start being more effective in life. So I got out my little notebook, and I made a list of these are the things I'm going to do every day, right? So I have this list. I have to work out, walk 10,000 steps. I have to read 50 pages of a book, write 5 pages of my own shit, and then I have to do like 1 hour of learning a new skill, which for me has been my drums.
Oh.
So I'm like, I've been doing it for like 3 days. I'm like, well, fuck drums. I can throw that hour. And you're just like, what's the point? And then like last night, I'm in my garage trying to exercise.
Yeah.
And after every set, and I used to be in really good shape. Like any set, I did like 15 squats with no weight. And I'm in my garage just like about to puke everywhere. And I was like, who am I kidding? Like, what is the point of all this stuff I'm trying to make myself do? I don't get it anymore.
Yeah, sometimes I like to fantasize that I was like in good shape as as recent as when Kent Murphy started. And
okay.
then but it's not true, because there's video proof that I was indeed not in good shape when Kent Murphy started. So
there's a lot of you fighting in the first season.
I try to tell myself, like, I think it just turned in the last couple years. Like, no, dude, it's been a while, bud.
Yeah.
You're just a fat boy now.
Well, dude, it's wild because, like, you played sports a lot as a kid. I was pretty athletic. I mean, I was still doing, like, kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and softball, which is obviously a super...
Technically, I still do play sports.
Do you really?
Yeah, I played, like, can jam the other day.
I've been playing beer pong and cornhole, yeah. Which I guess... But it's like... So I was like, I've always just been athletic. And even when I was, like, fat, I could still move. Like, people used to always, for your size, you can move. Now when I wake up in the morning, it is about 20 plus minutes of, is today the day my back's just going to be gone forever? Like, every single because if my dog lays by me and I get twisted in the night, like, I'll wake up and Amy's like, hey, let's go do, like, cool living life stuff. I'm like, I'm going to need 45 hard minutes of just, like, seeing if I can walk today. And it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But it makes me think, though, because I see these, like, it's like the new thing, right? Like, age is just a number, bro. What's keeping you from looking like this? I see it online all the time. You're like, there's just better shit. Like, why does a 50-year-old person need abs?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with those abs?
I'm probably getting laid all the time.
At 50?
Yeah, dude, I bet. Yeah.
You can crunch all you want. But
down at the villages in Florida, they fuck like hamsters,
or then they're juicing, though.
Rabbits.
But now they're juicers.
So?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm for it.
I'm also for juicing. I guess my argument unfolds itself. I mean, just thinking about how I feel waking up in the morning, the thought of it, like, 55 being like, it's time to dick down. That seems exhausting to me already.
Well, yeah.
Years in the
yeah.
future.
Yeah. I have,
You think old man Nick will just be slinging it?
God, I hope so, man. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
do you think there hits a point where you're like, enough's enough?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't. Okay. I've had plenty of relationships, and I've had plenty of times where I'm just like, I don't want to bang right now because I'm real comfy on this couch.
Yeah.
Because then you like start going through it, and you're like, yes, this is gonna feel great. It's gonna feel great.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I gotta fucking. First of all, I'm not a cardio guy. so that's going to be exhausting, as good as it feels. And then you got to clean it up, and
no,
then
you don't.
No,
you don't. You use your laundry that you're already going to wash. I told you this.
But yeah, and then you got to sit down and you got to fucking catch your breath. And then you lay back down and you're not as comfy as you were before. And so then I'm like, no, but here's the thing. 50-year-old Nick is going to sling it. You got to keep that dream. Because I don't want to fucking dream. I don't want to be like, I don't want my headspace to be like, now when I'm 50, I'm not going to get any puss and I'm going to be a loser. You know what I mean?
I imagine my 50s to be like Stephen Hawking's entire life. Where like by then I'll be in a floating chair and hopefully super smart from all the 50-page days I've had.
Apparently back in his prime, man, he was banging them all.
He was a hound, huh?
Yeah. I've read that.
Maybe his body, his dingus somehow knew. He's like, dude, I got limited time.
Do you think
time is an illusion, but also pussy's about to be an illusion. You know what I mean?
Do you think like people are like, oh my God, that's like Stephen Hawking, and he was like, oh hi, yeah, I'm Stephen Hawking, and then he just like starts to go on a tangent about string theory and shit, and so they're like, I'll just blow you. Like,
please, God.
They're like, I don't know what you're. I just wanted to blow you. And he's like, well, it's really interesting, actually.
I think he probably could have gotten more action post chair.
Probably.
Because at that point, you're like, oh my God, look at what this guy has achieved. Because like I'm sitting here on a podcast saying exercising and reading and walking for 2 days has like disrupted my whole life. Like I'm to the point I was in my little gym area last night in the garage and I was like, fuck The Rock, fuck Marky Mark. I was like getting up at 3 a.m. and eating like cans of tuna and Instagramming inspirational. Like, fuck you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But then you see a guy like Stephen Hawking, you're like, that's impressive to me.
Well, yeah.
You're like, now you're just like solving all the problems of the universe and like, you can't even move? Nothing.
Well, it's like I read this thing the other day and it was Jimmy Butler, who I fucking hate. He's such a try-hard. Fuck, he's not that. He's
a hustler.
Anyway, the article is like his first day at practice at the Miami Heat. It wasn't until 10, but he showed up at 3:30 a.m. And I was like, why? Like at that point, you're just looking for attention. You're not like, I'm going to be the first guy in the gym. You're just like, hopefully somebody writes an article about this.
Yeah. Well,
and
for
like
sure,
I guarantee
he
called
wasn't
like
practicing.
He called like the Miami Herald and he's like, hey, by the way, just so you guys know, I am going to be grinding tomorrow at least 6.5 hours early.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But that's my whole theory though, right? Like he wasn't practicing at 3:30. He was probably on Instagram Live. Mm-hmm. You know, and then he practices by proxy.
Yeah.
But this is, I think at that point, like, this is the thing I hate because I've been watching all these YouTube videos for like exercises and to get motivated. And people are like, this is about taking control of your life. I'm
right.
Like, no, it's about taking my life and weaponizing it against all the fats that I'm friends with.
Absolutely.
So like when I go to the bar, you're like, oh, I can only have one finger of vodka because it has no carbs. Nice Miller Lite, you fat fuck.
Right. Well, and see, like, I like to be early to stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I hate being late.
But not to set an example for younger guys. It's just so I can get a good seat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I can be comfortable.
Well, to not be disrespectful, but what he's doing is there's probably like...
I don't care about disrespecting the host. I just want to make sure that at this place that I probably don't want to be at anyway, that I'm at least comfortable.
But this is what I mean. There are probably a bunch of hardworking people that get paid way less than they should to be the overnight cleaning staff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, Jimmy, we have a job to do. And he's like, bitch, I got to grind.
You know what I mean? I got to grind. I got some
You're fucking up my shit now so that you can try to be And that's the thing. I don't think they're trying to motivate. I think they're trying to crush.
Stay out of the way of my Instagram film crew.
Yeah. If you could come polish this lens, I got to inspire people. Yeah, no, I'm not into that. I was going to bring up, there's a funny thing. I saw Stephen A. Smith's theory about the Orlando bubble.
Yeah.
Because as we get closer and closer to possible sports coming back, coronavirus is running rampant again, especially in the South, right?
Yeah.
And so now all the sports talk is like, are we going to have sports? Can they do college football, NFL, whatever, right? Baseball players sitting out. It's like a whole ordeal. Well, Stephen A. Smith's theory is that it's not coronavirus that you have to worry about in Orlando. It's that the players can't go 1 month, let alone 3 to 4 months, without all of the women they need to be smashing. He thinks.
You know, as much as I hate
the
Stephen
NBA
A.
championship will be decided by who is the most horny.
Yeah.
And is going to go out and break quarantine and infect their whole fucking pod.
Well, you know what? As much as I hate Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
That might be his best take that he's ever had. He might be right.
I mean, I'm not saying...
Well, that's what I was saying to my buddy the other day was like, the reason I think the bubble is dumb is not because I think it's dumb to take precautions or whatever. Like, that's smart. But when you do that for that long with guys of that stature, like, you know what I mean? Like, these, like, if you, whoever you are watching right now, if you think you get a lot of puss,
oh, dude,
you don't compared to these guys. Like, you just don't.
Brian Scalabrine would wash you under a table. Like, that's the level an NBA guy's on.
But like that, I think that bubble's like more harmful because as soon as instead of being out in the real world, like if one guy goes and fucks up, right, and just out in regular world, he goes and fucks up and he tests positive, he's not locked in a bubble with 700 other people to infect. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And that's what I'm saying. And that
That's
bubble,
zombie movie logic.
It's gonna get breached. There's gonna be breaches. It's
you're saying that the Lakers' entire season and health is based on their weakest link, probably JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard.
McGee's laying the pipe.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not putting my health on the fact that those two dinguses.
Howard more so because he knows Orlando. He
knows Orlando.
That's his stomping ground,
That's
man.
a well-combed beat. But that's what I mean. You don't want your dumbest guy.
His best years were there. Like, he's got a Rolodex of that shit, man. He has banged half that city.
I bet his back injury years were probably better because he didn't have to do all the basketball stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
He's just, like, laid out.
Yeah.
There's this great old movie.
Wearing
It's called
Superman
Monkey Shine.
capes. What is it?
It's called Monkey Shine, right? And it's about this guy who becomes a quadriplegic and he can't move. But he can psychically control this monkey.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if he controls it or he's psychically bonded. And then the monkey goes out and starts murdering people for him. But there's a great scene where this girl's like really taken aback by what he's going through.
Yeah.
And they have a full on. The only one I could think of in any movie I've ever seen, like a full on, she's like, I'm going to fuck you. And she's like, you can still get a hard on even though you are paralyzed from the neck down. And so she grabs one of those like medical things, right? That you're supposed to like hoist yourself up to like go to the bathroom and get in your wheelchair. She's like, I'm going to grab that and do some Cirque du Soleil on this guy while he's psychically, his mind is in the monkey. I think is what might have set him on his murderous rage.
Interesting.
But you're like, that's what we could be facing.
Well, it's like Hard to Kill when Seagal's in the coma and fucking the old girl nurse is like, they don't show it, but she definitely like tried to blow him while he was in a coma.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. She's
that guy used to
Mason
plow too,
Storm?
not so much anymore.
Yeah, no, now the only thing
Guy
he's
just
plowing is
plows
all you
Twinkies.
can eat buffets. And fake martial arts exhibits. But yeah, I don't know. That's my theory with the bubble, right? Is the bubble in itself, right? Like I was thinking about something like biodome theory, right?
Right.
Like what if we set up like a Garden of Eden and just kept everyone else out?
Yeah.
That shit's all fine.
Yeah.
The problem is that this is the NBA. People are desperate to get in. It's Florida. You couldn't have picked a worse state to be like, hey guys, can you just help us out with this?
Sorry, Florida, listen, but come on.
I mean, Florida knows. Florida knows who they are. That's one of the charming things about Florida is that they know who they are and it doesn't embarrass them enough. But you're asking these people to not invade the bubble and then infect. Like, that's the thing. If you are a fan of a team, like, what are the odds that some guy, like that Pride of the Celtics movie, right? You're like, this is my chance.
Oh,
like
Celtic Pride? Yeah. With
some
Damon
giant
Wayans.
Wisconsin Gomer who's just like, this is the one chance for the league to fear the deer. And he's just running around, like, spreading Corona on purpose to, like, the Sixers and whoever else.
Yeah.
Like, once you I think trapping them in the bubble,
well, the other thing
it's impossible.
Is the people that, besides the players, all of the workers don't have to stay in the bubble.
Yeah. Florida workers.
Which is, that like defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Because
the state that let Casey Anthony off.
Those motherfuckers aren't going straight home.
No.
You know
No, they're like, we got to go to the beach.
I'm not mad at them, but they're going and,
Yeah, but
they're picking up needles off the beach and shit.
Ooh, this is the good one. I'm gonna save this for my diabetes.
It's barely rusty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not putting my confidence in fans who are really sports deprived.
Yeah,
right. Like, I actually think the NBA championship now will mean more to fans. Right. Like like if LeBron wins it, I'm not gonna ever accept that as evidence against him and Jordan. But like, I bet if you were like a fan of the Washington Wizards and you got this title, which is impossible because they're not bringing their whole team.
right.
But that would mean a lot to those fuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think there's just too many, like so many things in Florida, there's too many variables and all of them are bad. You know what I mean?
All of them are residents of Florida.
Like, LeBron's like, it's Taco Tuesday. And he's just like scratching his face like, I got to make funny ass videos with
like
my boys.
my buddy lives down there, and I was talking to him the other day, and he was just like, he goes, you know how like most people like at least kind of care about, the pandemic or whatever? He goes, not one person in Florida gives a fuck. He goes, there's not even like a small faction that like kind of cares. He's like, no one gives a fuck. And he goes, it's exactly what I thought it would be down here.
No, I actually lived in Florida for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this. There were two moments because I had grown up in Indiana.
By the way, I've had a great time in Florida before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We were just there for
I don't know why we're going
City
so
Beach.
ham on it, but
this is the thing. Florida knows. You can tell Florida, like, you guys, you're not doing anything for the pandemic. Like, I know, right, bro? Like, that's what Florida, they're not mad at us.
Yeah.
But, like, so I moved to Florida, and it was like, holy shit. Because
like they just want to be the control group. They're like, we all have it. So, like, this is the worst case. And they're like, we're doing you a favor. We're showing you what the worst
They're
is.
the island of Dr. Moreau. They're out there just mutating themselves and, But, yeah, so we moved down there, and my aunt and uncle live there, and they live in, like, a ritzy part. Like, they live in one of those houses that looks like a plantation. And I was like, all right, that's weird energy to be putting out now, but, like, fine. And, they're rich, and their kids are in what are called magnet schools and all this.
Sure.
So, like, they get good schools. So we're like, oh, I think my mom's like, we'll go live by my sister, my best friend, and this will be fine. We roll down there. Not our experience at all. So I'm in, like, public school. So the first day on the bus, this dude comes up to me. He's like, what's up, man? You want some? And I was like, yeah? Like, what? Wait. And I was like, what are we talking about? He holds up a thing of M&M minis. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love M&Ms.
Fuck yeah.
And they're littler, so I can eat more, yeah. He opens it up, and it's just full of joints. And I was like, oh, my God, that was my first ever drug deal. I was in 7th grade. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I didn't even know what they were. I thought they were cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I knew that was bad for me, right? I hadn't started yet. Florida's actually where I had my first cigarette.
Sure.
And where I started, like, dabbling in other. Florida might have ruined me a little bit.
You became, yeah.
Yeah, I became a Florida
You're
man.
a product of your environment.
So we went there. We went to school. All of my classrooms were in, like, trailers behind the building with no AC, no books, floors, like, missing. They had armed security guards everywhere, which I had never seen.
Did you go to school in, like, 1948 or Florida?
Yeah, I went in I guess it was the movie Stand and Deliver with Josh Griffey. But, like, I was, like, shocked. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, we grew up in Indiana, and Indiana has mostly nice schools, right? Like, where I was at was a really nice school.
Not all of them, but yeah.
Near Lafayette, it was fine. And so this was, like, fucking ham. And then we come home, and we lived next to an actual Florida man.
Yeah.
So this guy would go out, and he would be, like, tanning the cheeks, dude. Like, banana hammock out there sunbathing.
Got to get it, man.
And whenever my mom would come out to, like, mow or, like, we had, like, an orange tree and, like, all this shit. Like, she had to, like, do yard work.
Yeah.
He would stand up and just start, like, spitting game at her. And it was horrendous, right? Like, we're like, bleh. And my dad hadn't
Did you ever
down.
get a chub in those fucking banana shorts?
I mean, like, as if it was, like, mandated by the uniform, right? I don't think guys wear those to not show off maximum impact, right? But so my dad hadn't come down yet. He stayed behind to work and, like, was looking for a job in Florida, which was our first mistake.
Little did you know somebody was fucking marking his territory.
Well, like, as soon as my dad would get out of the car, because my dad kind of looked like a souped-up
mine now!
Tony Danza, right?
Yeah.
Like, that guy would disappear for the weekend. And then, like, on Monday, he'd come back. And you're like, fuck. So, like, I remember it got so bad one night. Me and my brother, it was like Lost Boys. We're like, we have to handle this ourselves. And so me and my brother and a neighbor kid, we were out and we had this fucking super slingshot, these PVC pipes that we used to sword fight with. And so, like, we had weapons. And so I started taking all the oranges off the ground and fucking launching them at his house.
It's like Home Alone, the teen years.
Yeah, right? We're just smoking our M&M mini joints and we're like, it's war. And so we're launching rotten oranges at this guy's house. He comes out. We threaten to beat him with these sticks. It turns into an ordeal. And we're like, you're sexually harassing our mom. Like, we saw you looking in our windows. That's what set us off.
Yeah.
Is we saw him looking in our window.
What the fuck?
And so we, like, launched in. We're like, it's a fight now. It's on. The cops got called. This guy got actually, like, arrested and taken away.
Fuck yeah.
And so I told my mom, like, he's going to fucking murder us. And I don't remember how this all played out, but we went back to Indiana not long. We were only there for, like, 4 months.
Yeah.
And my dad, didn't find the job, and we went back. But I was like, somewhere in Florida, that guy's probably still walking around in a hammock. Like, I'm going to kill those little curly head fucks. But, like, I was just like, Florida's the wildest.
Hey, listen, guy, if you're listening to this and it's you,
yeah,
call in.
Hey, I just started lifting again, bro. You want to fight?
I would love to get that guy on the pod.
Well, that's how I remember the story. You know how it is when you're a kid?
Yeah.
Like, I rewrote it as like this Goonies adventure.
Well, yeah, it's like Disturbia.
Yeah.
Like that Shia LaBeouf.
There's absolutely a chance that guy was just like
Yeah.
spitting game and wearing a Speedo, and it wasn't as big a deal. I mean, they fucking took him. Like, he went to jail. So I don't know what else he had done.
He's pissed.
Yeah, I'm probably on a list. But like, I'll never forget. Like, this is one of those things that happens in life. You live long enough, and if you don't protect where you find yourself,
Yeah.
like right now, telling that story, plain as day, I see that guy's dick in my brain in those Speedos. Like, I'll never, ever, ever escape that fucking memory.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of dead people.
Yes.
No, okay, so I was thumbing through the internet last night. The Glee girl.
Dude, what the fuck?
She rented a boat or whatever and then jumped in and probably drowned or whatever. That sucks. That's sad.
They found her kid on the boat by himself.
Yeah. It's probably a riveting story. Don't care. I read the article on Yahoo, and of course I weaseled my way through the comments, and I see this all the time when people die, and I can't wrap my head around it. But like, somebody will post, "Oh my God, she just posted on Instagram yesterday." As if like that's gonna trigger a sadness. Like that's what she said. Oh my God, I just saw her post on Instagram.
Oh, she's just like us.
Yeah, everybody just posted on Instagram yesterday.
Everyone
who died today.
My mom
just posted on Instagram.
My grandparents, everyone
yesterday. Now, if you were like, "Oh my God, she just said she didn't like to rent boats yesterday," I'd be like, "That's a weird coincidence." Because she just rented a boat.
All right.
You know
so this is a long way around. She started with the death and then said, "I don't care about that."
And I wanted to get to the comments, okay?
Yeah.
I do care. I don't want anybody to die.
This is the weird shit that happens. Like, I got tagged on Facebook. This Australian girl that I had partied with like a handful of times in my life, right? Not like we're best friends.
Yeah.
But we met and she was, like, oh, like we were friendly, right? We met each other a handful of times when they were in LA and then they went back to Australia. She tagged me today, and it took me a minute to be like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, who is this really attractive girl who's tagging me and shit? I was like, they must know that I'm back in the garage.
I still got it.
She must know I'm walking 10,000 steps a day. But so
she must have saw my list.
Yeah, and she just goes, "Oh my God, this is our friend's former girlfriend or something. Like, maybe I had drinks with them, or that she just had and wanted to let us know because we also had lived in Los Angeles."
The girl from Glee?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, why are you posting that? Like, what does that have to do with this, kid not having a mom? But, like, that's the weird thing people do.
I once briefly met her.
Yeah, I'm like, so I probably made an inappropriate joke and, like, slammed a Jaeger bomb in front of this. Like, okay.
Oh,
I'm like,
guaranteed.
That doesn't make any of this better. Like,
no.
That's sad. But that's what I think, because I see this a lot. People get really mad about, because I run the social media for a movie podcast, right? Film Alchemist. Check it out. Subscribe. And every time a celeb dies, right?
Yeah.
I'll be like, fuck, man, that sucks. Like, this one really got me.
Right.
And inevitably, as everyone's doing that, there will be someone who's just like, fuck you, you don't know them. And you're like, yeah, bitch, I know I don't know them. But, like, it makes me sad, man.
Yeah.
Like, but I get that sentiment, though. Because there is a level of it where people want to make it so much about them. Like, I've seen them where it's like, people are talking about celebrities, and you're like, if me and you hung out every day for 10 years in a row, the amount of times you would have mentioned that celebrity's name, less than 3.
Probably.
In 3,000 days, right?
Yep.
Like, such a small percent.
Right.
But right now on Facebook, when someone died and the world lost someone who actually contributed, you need to stop and be like, how does this affect my life?
Oh, yeah.
And I get the sentiment of hating that.
Yeah.
It is annoying as fuck.
It is.
You have have you ever been so rocked by a celebrity death that you had a real emotional reaction?
I've felt sadness, sure.
I remember specifically the day Robin Williams died.
Yeah.
I actually sat in my car and cried because I was supposed to go. That's
I was
the one
very
that was
sad
the
about
worst.
that. I was sad when Kobe died.
That one was weird.
Yeah.
See, I was like emotional to the point of crying with Robin Williams and Chris Farley because I was like 12.
Yeah, Farley didn't, like, if I would have been this age now, Farley would have would have devastated. Yeah,
well, that was the first
that
one
would
where
have been
I
a
was
tough
like,
one. But I was so young when he died that it was like,
but see, that's
I didn't
the thing.
grasp it.
That fucked me up because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this person who's like a god to me
Yeah.
can just fucking drop dead.
Yeah.
Like that really.
Yeah.
That's what fucked me up because
Well,
John Candy died and I was sad, but obviously a little too young.
I think that's what it was about Kobe.
Yeah.
Was like, not that I ever hated Kobe. I wasn't a huge Kobe fan. I respected the fuck. I mean, how can you not?
He was a perfect villain. You loved to hate him on
But
the
it was
floor.
that mortality moment.
Yeah.
It was like him and I are not like that far off in age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like he was beyond like his basketball years, and he was just slipping into that like family man role or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like seemingly like as normal of a life as he can lead.
Yeah.
As someone of that, you know what I mean? It was just like that. It was that feeling like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That could happen to anybody.
That
you know
having
what
his
I mean?
kid
Like,
with him is what fucked me up.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most.
yeah. And, oh yeah, that.
Like had it just been Kobe and he like died in his sleep.
Yeah, yeah. And not
you're
to like
that's fine.
rehash that whole thing.
No.
That's been beaten down.
But this is what I mean,
Yeah.
though, right? So like the people that are really saddened, I get that.
Right.
The level of doucheness to just be like, I saw one the other day
Well, you can be sad.
where someone
about a
on Twitter is
celebrity.
like, I just can't with 2020 anymore. I have to shut it down for a couple days. Don't worry that I won't be tweeting. And I was like, first off, no one would have noticed if you didn't tweet. And secondly, the celebrity that died, I know for a fucking fact, did not mean that much to her. Like, I know for a fucking fact. And I was just like, it's that kind of, that's what is the worst about social media is like, no one is just telling you a truth anymore.
Right. Well, and to like to go back a step or whatever, and because I got more to say, but but you can be sad about it. So like the girl from Glee, and I can't think of her name, and I apologize, but like people that watched Glee, like, you know, that's a person that even though you don't know them, like it's a person you see every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people watch Glee, so like sure you could be sad about that. Like that's you probably see that person more than you see half your friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So there's definitely gonna be like an inherent sadness. But with that said, if I die,
yeah,
like I don't want people to be like, oh my god, he just posted on YouTube yesterday. Like, I want it to be like, oh my god, I think I saw that guy jacking off downtown yesterday. Like, I want it to be something way cooler.
Yeah.
Than just like a mundane Instagram post.
There's a good chance he pooped yesterday. And then he died. Can
it's
you
like the most mundane thing that anyone can do is post on social media now. Like,
you don't want
and the girl's like, that was like her profound moment. She's like, oh my God. Wait a minute. Are you sure she's dead? Because she just posted on Instagram yesterday. So I don't know if this checks out.
Unless that girl's bringing us some conspiracy.
She goes,
and she's like, can Ghost access Instagram?
Well, she's like, how does somebody post on Instagram and end up dead 24 hours later? You make sense of that, because I can't.
This is the Unsolved Mysteries effect. We were talking about it. Unsolved Mysteries is back.
It's great.
Dude, what
They have
a
the
show.
original music shit, too.
It's a good time for true crime always. But I forgot, because I told you that. We turned on the show. I hadn't thought of Unsolved Mystery. That's something me and my family used to watch. That was like a night we would watch. The moment that song hit, fucking chills. I remember that song used to scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Because it would come on, the dude would walk out in the trench coat, and you'd be like, I'm going to get abducted and child
Robert
murdered.
Stack.
Yeah, Robert Stack.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And the music to this day is just one of those like Pavlovian things where it scared the fuck out of me.
Didn't they try to like reboot it some years ago with Dennis Farina? Yeah.
Hey, listen here, you stupid fuck. How you not solve this?
Goes,
you stupid cocksuckers?
Don't go to England.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. I actually think Hostless is good.
Yeah, it's way better without the host, unless it was going to be Robert Stack, who's long dead.
Yeah, the weird
and
thing
you know
is,
what? It's weird. The
Hologram
day before Robert Stack died, he posted to Instagram.
He posted on
What
Instagram.
the fuck?
That would have been weird.
Instagram wasn't even out.
Yeah. What?
Unsolved Mystery.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that the weirdest part about the new Unsolved Mysteries for me is that they all seem solved.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of two things, right? Like, either they've solved all the cases.
Yeah.
And we're just watching them, or they are definitely going to be sued for slander.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Because the guy in episode 2 that essentially is like, I have her ashes. I rub my dinghy on them. It's fine. She's mine. Yes, there's my fucking taint grease on the bag of her remains. But, that's the way she would have wanted to die. Like, if that guy didn't do it,
yeah,
he is in line for a fuckload of money. Because they just made him the creepiest fucking dude in the year of COVID, Tiger King, all this shit. He is the worst thing I've seen by far.
The one with it was the mom that died, and the kid said it was the stepdad, and the stepdad got cleared, but the stepdad kept all of the ashes and everything.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The little ginger guy. And he's like, I have a criminal.
By the way, though, that dude was he was the biggest mama's boy I've ever heard of.
That's how serial killers start.
No, the kid, not the dad.
Oh, well, I think the kid, he struck me as this is a convenient excuse to make every bad choice in life.
He was like, I can't believe my mom died. Now I don't have a place to live. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, also, you're 45.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was just and that's
I get
the
it, though.
stepdad
That would
was
fuck you
but
up.
the stepdad was yeah, she didn't give him any rules. She just gave him everything he wanted. And he would be yeah, and sometimes I'd do stuff that would get me in trouble, and then he would get mad at me, and then my mom would come save me. And I was like, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit. No wonder he kept the ashes, you dick lick.
I get it. But still, I have sympathy for that, and as a young kid, that would fuck you up. I think by the time you're 50,
I would have just fought
and
my
you've gotten
stepdad.
13 terrible tattoos, you've made enough decisions to do better.
Sometimes you just got to man up and fist fight your stepdad.
I mean, I fucking agree. I definitely
And if you got
have.
a stepmom,
Yeah.
bang her and film it.
Ooh,
That's a money maker.
That's true. Then you're rich.
Front page of Pornhub, dude.
Then you can have rich people problems instead of whatever's. But that's the crazy thing. Only one of them is a truly unsolved mystery, and it's the first episode. Which
first
is the
episode's
best.
great. Yeah.
Because just the thought of that giant guy being thrown through the roof to where he bust a fucking hole in it.
Yeah.
There's so many
the note.
What, yeah,
the note behind
is
the computer. It's crazy.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's serial killer stuff.
It's something.
The guy lawyering
I don't think he put the note there.
No chance.
Those fucking Freemasons did it, dude.
Yeah, they just threw Freemasons in for. That's what this show does. They're ancient aliens in us.
Yeah, they don't base anything in fact. That's not any fun.
I thought that was the whole point.
Yeah, but it's not any
Because at
fun.
the end, they're like, help us solve this case. And it's like, bitch, you already did. The guy who's rubbing his dong on his wife's ashes, 1,000% did it. That's not okay or normal. Right?
This is just what I do.
Yeah. And at the end of the show, when he's just breathing, he's like, hey, if you think it was me, oh well. You're like, now I know it was you.
Yeah.
If you told me that guy wears her clothes, you know what I mean, and uses her ashes as a litter box and eats his own poop, I'd be like, yeah, he did that.
Well, I did.
That's how creepy he is.
I did some reading, and there's a bunch of parallels between how all that went down and the movie The Game, the David Fincher movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it's
the guy who ran out of his house and got thrown off the roof.
Yeah. Because he gets thrown off a building through a window into a room that people don't know about.
Whoa.
And it's a whole corporate setup. Because it's a game and shit to see, to test your.
Yeah, I remember the movie. Dude, I'm all about conspiracies.
Yeah.
There's so many things that don't make sense in that case.
I agree.
And the fact that they're just suicide, I think.
But even the cops, even the detective was like, yeah, something's fishy.
Yeah, but the higher up shut him down.
But yeah, he got kicked off the case because he probably was
too close to the truth.
Yeah. I wonder
But a great example of that show, right? That one is fascinating, has conspiracy elements, whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're just let's go to France for the most open and shut case ever. And you're like, oh, great. Now I have to stop looking at Twitter so I can read fucking subtitles.
And then they go to the alien episode. Did you see that one with the whole town saw a spacecraft, and then the guy was like, yeah, I got abducted. And he goes, yeah, I don't really tell people because then they just start looking at you crazy when you tell that story. It's like, really, man?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
To be fair, though, I was like, if the aliens did take him, they have a type.
Well, it's
because he's exactly the guy you think would tell you.
But it's like that whole town. But that episode reminded me of this. So the first person goes, I think I just saw a UFO, and then somebody's like, yeah, I definitely saw that too. And then somebody else was like, yeah, dude, I saw 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then it gets like the next person's like, there was like they were in a V shape. There's like 5. And then it gets that guy and he goes, they fucking picked me up. You know what I mean?
They're just passing around the meth pipe.
And then the mom's like, yeah, they picked me up too. You know, I didn't want to tell my kids.
Oh, me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
that was the best thing. She was like, yeah, like I didn't tell my kids about it. And then the kids were like, yeah, I didn't tell my mom about it. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
You're on the same ship.
It's like we're on the same family pass. I'll see you down at the Lemonade Yellow pool.
If I get picked up into an alien spaceship,
right.
I'm telling everybody if I make it back.
Well,
I'll go down as I'll be fucking Randy Quaid from Independence Day, man.
I'm back. But that's what I mean, though, right? These don't strike me as people that have a lot of other things that have happened in their life that are more memorable than being abducted.
Correct.
So that's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
I forgot they did alien episodes, but to me, if I get abducted, that's everything I'm doing for the rest of my life every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is an earth-shattering realization. And if you get that experience, how could you ever do anything else?
I'm telling everybody.
Yeah.
Like this Kent Murphy will be no more. I'm just going to sit on YouTube Live for the rest of my life going, and then.
Yeah. And their dongs.
So that's when they got to the butthole.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, like those people live in like a hollow, right? Like you're just going to go back and just go to TJ Maxx the next day. Like some shit didn't happen.
Can you guys hurry up? I got to work at 6.
Yeah. This Whole Foods isn't going to enforce mask policy on its own. I need to be there to fight these Karens. No, I mean, once you get, like, what would you do? Like, why would you do anything
But
ever
do you
again?
think, okay, so like.
I would do nothing if I ever got abducted.
If there was intelligent, like, but I always think about this. So, like, what if we found another planet with life on it and like we were the aliens, right? Like would we
that's good. I never think of it
would
that
we
way.
just go and like bag a couple of them up and just like try to bring them on the ship, you know what I mean? Like
diddle them and send them back.
Yeah, would we just jam
Are we intergalactic diddlers?
Jam stuff up their butts and be like, all right, have a good rest of your day.
I feel like that's exactly what we would do.
Well, because it's like, what else are you gonna do besides jam things up there?
I don't know. Try sign language. Like they did that.
Well, what if they don't
Simon
have,
Says and
what if they have like really good intentions and they abduct us? And they're like, let's just check them out and see what they're about. But they don't have buttholes. Never seen it. So like they're examining our body. And they get to it. And they're like, what the fuck? He's got a hole. So they just start shoving stuff up it. And it's like, it's just funny. They're not even experimenting. They just think it's funny.
They think we're like an alien fanny pack.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Or maybe they just keep abducting. Maybe it's like, maybe that's why they only take like dipshits.
Yeah.
Is there like, when we abduct a person from this rural state and one of them actually doesn't act like a fuck stick, then we'll know they're ready for the secrets of the universe. I mean, if we showed up on another planet, I think there's only 2 things which would happen is maybe we collect something. Maybe we start autopsying. We probably more than anything is just go, ew, gross, and start dropping bombs. Yeah. Like that's probably our reaction.
Oh, we can totally live here.
Yeah, because that's what I've never understood about the abduct. Like, why do they just give us back?
Hurry up, plant a flag so they know it's ours.
Maybe that's what happened to that guy I lived next to in Florida. They took him up and they're like, the specimen's very
Isn't
rare.
that where, remember that movie Fire in the Sky or whatever? About
Dude,
the guy?
that is one of the scariest fucking movies.
Was that in Florida?
No, that was in like Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they were like loggers. Yeah, lumberjacks and shit.
Yeah, that's right. But
that's what I mean. So that guy gets out and is so fucking traumatized. Like they have that great scene where they have the party at the house and all his friends are over and he just hides under a table.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck?
Because he just got butt humped by a bunch of aliens.
He's
dude.
like, I don't want to have like
he got
Ethel's terrible.
By the aliens.
I just got bukkakied. I got part on the international bang bus. Like, God damn it. But yeah, it's like, I don't want to share Ethel's terrible fruitcake from church and pretend like I'm glad she's here. Like, I have been violated. Yeah. I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
And then, but the end of the movie is the thing where it's like, oh, he got his life back on track. got married and has kids, and then becomes friends with the guy who left him.
Yeah.
And you're like, no? Like, why would I ever do any of those things? So I'm just going to, like, start a family so they can be abducted to the intergalactic bang bus?
Well,
No
that's
way.
the thing. Like, your outlook changes once you're in the ship.
Everything.
You're like, well, you know what? Family values are out the window. Because that's everything we believed on a fundamental level is not, it's gone.
I don't pay taxes. I don't wear clothes.
Excuse me, I'm not paying those. I've been abducted.
I think what would happen is, as a society, we would become Florida men, where you're just like, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to get it in as long as I can until they take us.
In Independence Day, are you the person running? Are you in that group that goes to the top of the building like, fuck it, let's have a party, see what happens?
I am 1,000% on record is they can take me as long as they don't bring me back. I'm done with Earth. I've seen all of her wonders. I want to go to the next place and see what's up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go restart somewhere else. Like, Earth has nothing left of interest to me.
Well, yeah, once you've done that, no.
No, I'm saying now.
Oh.
Like, there's nothing left. I mean,
well, that's foolish. You haven't been, like, everywhere.
I don't have to. I have Google Earth.
That's
You want me to go stand in line like I'm a fucking sheep to the slaughter on the Great China Wall? So I can be like, cool, bricks. No, I'll just Google Earth it.
It's like that Always Sunny when he goes, have you ever been to Florida? And Dennis goes, been there? Not physically. Like, that's you with, like, China and Rome.
Yeah. I don't need to go through all the nonsense to see these, like, old fucking broken down places. Like, I can read books about why they're cool. I can see pictures of them. And, like, why do I want to go to the Colosseum in Greece? I'd rather watch Bruce Lee kill Chuck Norris.
Here's how much of a swine I am.
Swine.
Oh, yeah, dude.
A fucking swine.
Uncultured fucking swine that I am. I don't want to go to Europe because every time I see anywhere in Europe in a movie, it's all like dark and dreary, and they're fucking assholes.
They don't have enough lights for you? That's the problem?
Well, it's always cloudy. Bro, think about it. Think about every movie. Think about every movie with like London or anywhere, dude. It's always fucking cloudy. And shitty. Like, it's always like about to rain.
You
or
have
raining.
Absolutely just ruined movies for me for like 3 months.
I'm telling you, watch anywhere in Europe, it's always dark, dude. It's like that. So I watched that movie War Dogs the other day, right?
Yeah.
And they're like in wherever they're at, California or whatever, and it's like sunny and they're fucking having a great time. And sure enough, they end up in fucking Albania to get some weapons, and it's fucking cloudy as shit. It's like always about to rain in Europe, dude. And I don't want to, like, it sounds depressing.
You don't want to get rained on vacation.
That's 100% my reasoning for not wanting to go to Europe.
Well, my whole theory is, like, my sister-in-law wants to travel the world. And I'm always like, all right, what if you go over there and next thing you know, like, a tsunami hits or something? You're like, well, fuck, there goes my... I know that sounds very horrible and white privilege-y.
It could happen.
But you're like...
I have an irrational fear of getting kidnapped overseas.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
When we used to live in L.A., when I first got there, I was always like, Tijuana. And then my bouncer buddies were like, you specifically should never drive across to Tijuana. And I was like, why? And they're like, they always look for the loudest, dumbest American, and they will take you and leverage your, like, loved ones to get money before they release you. And I was like, I'm cool. I'll just watch donkey shows on the internet like a grown-up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm out. Yeah. Like, it's the weirdest thing, but, like, I have no interest in traveling the world at all.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind, like, going to Australia, but...
Have you ever seen the fucking animals?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, then I look at the fucking spiders and the snakes, and I'm like,
I watched a
but
fucking
I would love
show
to go
with
just,
my kid.
like, sit at a bar with a bunch of Australians and be like, watch rugby and just fucking...
Yeah, just go to L.A., dude. They're full
drinks.
of fucking... All the superheroes are Australian.
It'd be fun.
But that's what I mean. I watched a show about Australia with my kid, and they're like, they have a jellyfish that'll take you out in like a fucking...
I don't get in the ocean
like,
anyway.
Fuck that, yeah.
I don't get in any water unless I can see the bottom. So swimming pools.
Dude, I went to a lake on 4th of July. Not my scene, man. Sticks. I swear to God, I think
I got stung by a jellyfish when I was like 6 years old, and I haven't been in the ocean since. Like maybe five times.
That's a great example.
I don't swim in lakes.
My in-laws got us to travel to Alabama.
Yeah.
And to this day, it's something I'm still furious at Amy about. Because I'm like, we cashed in, travel time with our kid Hunter was 2 at the time.
To go to Alabama.
And so like we went on a plane with the 2-year-old and I was like, to Alabama. And there was a day where we found ourselves at a Cracker Barrel. And I was like, are you
love Cracker Barrel.
I get it. Cracker Barrel is not vacation worthy. Cracker Barrel is I live in a place where I want to clog my body as fast as I can with butter.
Yeah.
So I will eat there.
Agreed.
When I went, and so the next day they churched it up, right? So we're in Alabama. We can't go in the ocean at all because they have a jellyfish swarm.
Plus, you just ate less than 30 minutes ago.
That's true. And then I would be fatter. The jellyfish would have more to sting. We went to a restaurant, and the restaurant's claim to fame is if you ask, they will fucking whip rolls at you. Giant rolls. So you'll be like, hey-o! And someone will fucking chuck one.
Let's go.
Like and it's not like
I'm way into that.
a gentle, like they fucking throw them from across the room.
I want to work there.
So but that's what I mean. So I'm using my first baseman skills because they give you molasses. So I'm fucking catching them for my mom and my wife. Like
3 of them.
Yeah. So I'm just, dude. I was like really feeling it. I was like, I got the fucking mitts. My father-in-law's like, I'm gonna get in. And he goes, roll! And this dude was a lefty. He said it was because he's a lefty that threw him off. This dude whips one. My father-in-law totally misses. And it fucking drills Hunter in the face in his high cherries too. And this roll's the size of his head. So my 2-year-old son just whap, like whipped back. And I'm like, he's got a concussion. He's like about to throw. But I was like, I cashed in travel time and everything.
I gotta go. That's worth the trip right there.
I mean, it's funny now watching you laugh about it. But at the time, I'm like, we came down here, and when my kid's like, we have to hold him back again. And I'm like, why? Well, he's eating crayons, and, he glues his hair together. I'm like, fucking roll in Alabama. Fucking stunning him for life. But that's what Alabama has to offer is you can catch your own rolls.
That's fucking
Is that
awesome.
a place that I need to travel to?
Absolutely. I'm going tomorrow.
Nick's like, road
Taking the weekend off, bud.
That would be the best place for Kent Murphy to go.
Rolls, man.
Kent Murphy is
Bring
a waiter in that restaurant.
In there and just start cranking them. Oh,
Roll
my
dingers.
God. If anybody knows what that restaurant, do you remember what it's called?
I can find out.
We'll clip this off. We got to find out what that restaurant's called.
Yeah.
I swear to God, we will come down and do a video. We will fucking drive.
It's very famous. It's a huge restaurant, too.
We got to do that.
It's like Super Cracker Barrel.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. Hey, guys, we got to get out of here. I can't top that story. That was fucking great. If you're listening, thanks. CoachKentMurphy.com and /shop for all your gear. Hey, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.